Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I just finished Watchmen episode 2, and I must say, I'm kind of hooked. Like, I was very critical of the first episode of this. There is some obvious disrespect to the source material. It was there when it comes to Rorschach, especially some of the Peteypedia files, which there are new files if you want to check those out. But it's very disrespectful to his legacy. Obviously, this was bent a little bit and changed to just exactly what would fit their narrative, but still, I kind of like it. Like, I hate to even say it because I know I'm going to get out for it. But it's not that bad. So I want to go through this, and there's a lot of foreshadowing. There's a lot of respect also played to the source material. So I want to talk about that. But I want to talk about the, I always want to say issue. I want to talk about the episode first. So it was called Martial Feats of Comanche Horseship, which is due to a painting, a famous painting of old. So it opens up. And the first episode opened up with the Tulsa riots, which was kind of buried in history. So now we've got opening up with an Nazi, I'm trying to be very careful, German soldier, who is basically drafting a letter to send to America, to not everybody in America, but the people in the army that are black. They are specifically targeting that. So basically, this is another real event that happened. And I do like how Damon Lindelof is focusing on things that happen that isn't huge, that isn't so well known. Basically, Germany weaponized the race card against us in World War II. So, and that's what he's showing. So basically, all of these papers fall, and the father from the Tulsa riots, the father finds the paper, and he goes through it. He realizes, that he's not being treated fairly in America. So then we get, a switch back to modern times, and we see the old man. He's in the bakery. He is with Angela. She gets to play dress up, and we find out his name is Will. And that's all we find out so far. But we get this flash to this newsstand, which I really like because, again, it's paying respect to the newsstand within the source material. It's paying respect to just exactly what is going on. And back at the bakery, I don't know a whole lot about Will's character. Now, we don't know except for the small things we've been told. Some things, he needs his pills. I don't understand what I'm thinking he's 105. So I'm thinking it's some sort of Aricept, which is like an Alzheimer's medication. I'm not exactly sure. That's just the nurse in me going, what is he taking and why? But it really has nothing to do with it, but I'm just kind of trying to figure out what exactly his deal is. Now, does his pills have anything to do with the obvious superhuman abilities that we will see? Like even there's a hot cup of coffee. He just drinks it like in one swig. I know that's not obviously the most ideal superpower, but it's just showing that something is off with him. So we go back to the scene of the crime, and Angela is sitting there with Looking Glass, and she's talking about, she's got to tell the kids, her kids rather, what happened with Judd. And since the beginning, I've kind of been like, this Looking Glass seems like he's going to be the mole or the traitor. I'm calling it now. And he's like, your kids, because they're obviously adopted, and we'll find out why here in a little bit. But what made me so sad, I felt so bad for Looking Glass, because she's like, you're a cold son of a bitch. And he's like, then why under this mask are there tears? I'm like, oh. And then she goes to get him off of the tree, and she's hugging him, and it's just like the most sincere, endearing thing ever. And I'm like, I just want to give you a hug. I just want to take all of your worries away, honey. Come here. You just feel bad. So we get a flash to White Knight, and that's another small foreboding. I don't know what you want to call it. It's 2 minutes till 12. So we're getting obvious thanks to the doomsday clock, and at midnight, and they're doing a good job with this. So we see the break-in, and this is what we have learned so far is White Knight. And that's what it's called when the 7th Cavalry basically went to, I didn't even write it down. It was like something like 40 houses, all policemen, and murdered most of them. Some of them did get away, but like Angela, she gets shot in the stomach, and then she kind of fades to black. And this was another foreboding thing, because she gets shot, she sees the Rorschach mask, and she blacks out. Well, then she wakes up and she sees Judd. And you'll understand what I mean by it's a foreboding thing, because it's such a weird twist to me. So they're at the hospital, and she finds out that her partner's dead. He has 3 kids. And in my last review of episode 1, I was like, they're doing the whole black woman adopts a bunch of kids. Well, now I feel like an asshole, because she adopted them because her partner died. So Topher and his 2 sisters, these characters came from the death of basically, her partner. Of all these people that passed away that night, she adopted and helped out. So I kind of feel like an asshole, but not that much, So we get to see these people are going to storm Nixonville, which in this is, obviously it's a thing to Richard Nixon. That's why it's called Nixonville, right? Because all of these mean conservatives. It's so dumb, but it's a trailer park, kind of like with Tent City in it. Where all of these people live, and they think the majority of them are 7th Cavalry members. Well, they storm the fuck out of it. They call them a bunch of racist fucks. They say, if you don't come out, we're going to take down your idol. Like, there's just extreme racial profiling. But, in this universe, it works in a way because it's like, the police have gone too far. And it's showing what happens when the police go entirely too far. Like these Antifa masked motherfuckers are just killing and hurting and cuffing people because they're white. And they've definitely gone too far. So we see her take this cup that I spoke that Will had taken a drink out of. She wants to get his DNA. She takes it. We see protesters there talking about the Redfordation, which is it's so silly. Like, I'm not even going to get into politics of this. But she takes and she gets his DNA tested. And then we see her go home, and she goes up on the porch, and this guy's sitting there, and he's like, Topher and the 2 little girls, I don't know their name, I apologize, but it's his weekend to see them, or his day to see them. And she's like, no. Like, that's just their grandpa, and you're not letting them see him. But he's kind of a piece of shit anyways, because he's like, well, I'll take a check instead of seeing my grandkids. Like, shut up, you piece of shit. And that's exactly what happens. But here's what I'm kind of wondering at this point. I didn't realize, and I'm so excited that I realized it, that Cal, her husband, was Black Manta. Like, that kind of makes me happy. But he's kind of a house husband. Like, I'm not sure exactly if he is, because I haven't seen him actually work. I'm pretty sure he's a house husband. But she wants to go tell Topher that, his Uncle Judd is dead. And it's the speech that we saw in the trailers, where she's like, not everything is unicorns and rainbows. It comes down to 2 things, black and white. Like, no, it doesn't. But the only thing I do like about that is it's kind of like how Rorschach sees things, right? Like, so they're kind of messing stuff up. Rorschach sees stuff in black and white, good and evil. There's really no gray area. And that's kind of how they're making Angela at this point. And I don't understand. He's building this castle. And it's literally the same castle that we saw on Mars in the beginning. It's literally the same castle that Ozzy is living in. So I don't know. I'm sure they're doing those things on purpose, but he breaks it. So I'm guessing that within the next few episodes that Ozzy's house, his happy little home, is going to either blow up or something's going to happen. I'm calling it now. So we get finally the American hero story. And in the original Watchmen, obviously we had the comic within the comic, the pirate We had all of that. Now we're kind of getting it in a different way. It's a show within a show, and it's the American hero story. So we get to see Hooded Justice, and this scene is literally the best scene of the show so far. Like, I watched it twice, like, yes, go Hooded Justice. Like, you are a bad motherfucker. I love it. But I'm not sure here at this point if Damon Lindelof has ever read before Watchmen. Because he talks about, Ralph Mueller, the strong man. He's dead, or he needed to think he was dead. But in Before Watchmen, we never actually found out if it was Ralph Mueller or not. So I'm kind of wondering what he's thinking there and what we're going to see. But in the beginning, do you remember in the comic, when you read the comic within the comic? Basically, it gave us a little insight to what Ozzy was doing. It gave us a little insight to that. So in the beginning, he's like, if I told you who I was, you wouldn't continue watching. And I feel like they're setting that up as far as, like, with the little old man, Will. If they told us in the beginning who he was, we wouldn't continue watching till the end. Because at the end, we are going to find out who he is. So I like how they're kind of taking it the same. Like, I do feel like Damon Lindelof is a big fan of Watchmen. Like, I'm not sure if he's read before, but I do feel like he knows his shit. I feel like he's done a pretty decent job. But we see that, and then as that story starts to end, we see Angela go to, I don't even know her name, Judd's wife's house name. They're having basically like a wake. Well, she passes out. Well, she doesn't really pass out. She wants to get upstairs so she can, rest. She puts on her little x-ray goggles, and she's looking in the closet and trying to figure out what's going on, trying to figure out what the skeleton in Judd's closet is. Well, I was so mad. I was like, I'll sue, please. It was a KKK costume. Like, are you kidding me? I kind of wondered when she woke up to him in the hospital if they were making that 7th Cavalry connection. But, dude, this motherfucker is like, I don't even know. I was shocked. So we get to find out that the dead man is, I honestly think he's part of this. I don't think this was set up. I don't think this was planted there. I really do think that Judd has something to do with the Cavalry. Now, we'll get to see more of that, I'm sure. But it switches to Ozzy. I love Ozzy. Like, I loved him in the comic too. He's such a just eccentric fellow. But Jeremy Irons plays a great Ozzy, right? So he's setting up the watchmaker's son that he said he was making a play before. And last time I said I thought these people, these servants, were androids. I was close. They're clones. Basically, they're clones. So there's, a bunch of the same people, a male and a female, and there's just a bunch of them, and they're setting this up. Well, it's the story of John and Janie, if you remember from The Watchmen, the accident that happened, and just exactly what's going on. I like how he calls it, what is it called? The knot, the Goldian's knot, and then The Watchmen, there's that Blacksmith Agency, the Goldian's knots. I think I'm saying that wrong. I probably am. Before I edit, I'll look it up. But I like the little references. But he burns one of the people alive. Like, he burns him alive. It's a clone, I guess. And that symbolizes, like, when John becomes Manhattan. But it's really good. Like, everything about it is really good. And then he's like, he does the great line from John from the comics, nothing ever ends. And then we get to see the watch, and it's like 3 minutes till midnight. So we know something's coming. It's, like I said, it's another foreshadowing thing. So we get back to Angela and Will, the old man. They're at the bakery. He got out of his handcuffs and went and got eggs from across the street, then came back. So he obviously has no reason to leave. And then this motherfucker's like, he's talking about wanting an egg. He reaches in the boiling pot and just gets one. Like, there's something going on with him. But, like I called it last time, I said daughter, I wasn't sure. It's his granddaughter. Angela is Will's granddaughter. So, I think we're going to learn a lot through this character. But she's like, I'm gonna arrest you. She's on a mission. But it's real cute. Like, it's endearing. Like, when she's helping him in the car, she's hugging him, and you can see that, like, bond. You know what I mean? Like, you can see that love between them. Even though they just met, the idea that she found a family member to her feels real. So, she goes to put his wheelchair in the back, and a giant fucking magnet comes out, takes her whole car, and he goes up in the air just with a little smirk on his face. Like, he said earlier in the episodes he has friends in high places. He wasn't kidding. I honestly don't know where they're going to go with this. Like, I try to look into Damon's mind, and I feel like, does this... Okay, so from the Peteypedia files, we know that Lori Blake, who took her father's name, the comedian, and Dan got arrested for vigilantism. Well, Lori, I think is going to show up in the next episode. She is working for the government, and I don't know who this is. I'll throw a picture on. I've been trying to figure it out all morning because it's not Night Owl. I don't know. Like, is it Judd in some, like, dollar store fucking mask? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out who this is. So I wonder if we're going to get Dan. I wonder if this has something to do, like, was that Archie picking it up? Well, I don't know. It's so, like, it makes me think entirely too much. My brain hurts. My brain is on fire. I love it, though. Is it weird that I love to hate this show? I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode, or if you're even watching it or not. I mean, honestly, it may be worth waiting till they're all out and binge on it, but it's worth watching. I can't believe I'm fucking saying that, but it's worth watching. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey, I want to give a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star and Patreons. You guys literally make this channel possible. Thank you so much, Sanjuro, Way Else One, BG Torrance, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Grand Smear, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Jeremy Burtz, Mike Buckner, Robert, and Timothy French. You guys are freaking amazing. Thank you so much, and make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.